Oh. Oh my God. They're kind of pawing through it very softly with my pinpointer. God, this is like a Spanish silver starter kit. Oh, there. Look at the imprint on this guy. Oh my God. What a freaking day. Nice gentle snow coming down. Just a little bit of ambiance. Still in my cellar hole. I've still got all this to search. Oh, there's a little something. 12-13 signal. I think it's a little flat button. Little convex flat button. Yeah, I'm seeing where a shank would have gone right there. Anything on the face? I don't think so. But that goes right along with that foundation. I like it. And just down the way from that other button, we've got another nice little flat button. Die Gracia. That's me Scottish accent. I know it's not very good, but at least this button is nice. Alright, let's keep going. And right in front of the foundation, a very confusing target. This ground is completely rock solid. Let's see. Oh my God. It's like I'm chopping down a tree. I'm gonna have to see if I can get through this and get back to you guys. Well, it took a minute or two, but I finally got down there. It's funny how it's soft on the underside like that once you get through, but this is just like, it's like a chunk of ice. But down in there, there's this nice little buttony looking thing. Hope I didn't destroy it. I don't think I did, but it's got some gilting on it, I think. It kind of looks like a little acorn button or something. I'm going to clean it up with the brush, bring it back. Oh, there it is. Just a little ball button. Or something. I've never seen this before. I guess it could have been part of a piece of jewelry. It's gilt. It looks like just some sort of like a fancy sort of ball-like button. And this was definitely squashed before I got here, so happy about that. That's cool. This hunt is just turning into a winter wonderland. You can see where I haven't walked yet because it's all snowed over. Or I have because it's all messed up. Which is pretty handy because I am gridding this place out now after that coin spill. And we might be back on it again. I just got like the faintest signal. It was like really high, like 30s, like 35, 36, but just like faint, faint, faint. And this thing's cranked up to 24 out of 25, so like all the way up. And and there was like some iron around it. So I get down there and that's like a good like foot down or something. And this pops out. And that to me, that looks like a silver. Yeah, I think that this, yeah, definitely. I was worried that it might be just a button, but that looks like a nice, probably $1 right there. Let's get some water on her, see what we come up with. I'm trying not to be too passé about this now after this coin spill because I have never even found a $1 before this in my life. And now all of a sudden, I think I have 2. I would love to see an old US silver pop out, but man, I cannot complain. Yeah, that was down there. Way down there. Yeah, that's got to be an old 1 real. Still not really seeing it. Which is weird because it's got some meat on it. It's thick. Ugh. Little scratch. Another little scratch. Damn. It's these little pebbles and rocks in the soil, you know? Dig down there and think you're doing a good job, and then you pull it out and you just see it's all marred up. It sucks. But I bet that's going to be a beautiful little... Oh yeah, I can see the lettering coming through right there. Beautiful little 1 real. Who's it going to be? There it is. We try to clean it just a little bit and see what we can get. Well, this thing's not really coming through for me yet. There it is. But I can see a bust on here. Ugh. Trying to figure out which way to flip it. There we go. It is a bust facing to the left. And there's that G in the middle. I think that might be Hispania. So I'm going to say it's a real, a 1 real. But I can't get much more off of it yet. I'll have to clean it up at home and see what else we can get off of her. Amazing. Amazing. We're on Spanish silver number 6 of the day. Okay. There was the Spanish real right there. That last one. And now I'm getting... something else right there. My phone is on 13% right now. My pinpointer is almost dead. I'm on my last dot of battery on my detector. I'm almost out of water. And I don't want to... Nope. Whatever this is, it is down there. I was getting quite a bit of iron signal in there too. That's why I didn't live dig it right off the bat. It just sounded like a lumpy piece of iron at first. Now it's sounding better. Yes, it is. Huh? Copper? I think we got a copper. Yep. Keep losing it, but we got one somewhere. God. There we go. Conserve my batteries. Okay. Yo, not a copper. It looks like a dandy. Just does not want me to hold on to it. You can see the shank right there. I know that I have gotten a lot here today, but if it's not too much to ask, could it be a GW button? Ooh, it's not, but it is fancy. Look at that. It's like kind of a nice pinwheel design. Sort of a nipple thing going on in the middle. Yeah, it's a nice old dandy button. Always happy with that. Sweet. I'm on 3% battery left in my phone, so this is going to be it for the day. Right next to that old dandy. My phone is so dark because it's conserving battery that I can't even see. There's this other button right here. Most caked up button I've ever seen, and I don't know if you can see it on the face, but I love this. There's like a little piece of grass from where the button landed on the ground way back in the day, and it's still implanted on there. God, my phone's so dark I can't even see. So I am forced out of here. That is going to be it for me for the day. But what an incredible day. This was like the best day of metal detecting I think I've ever had. Coming back tomorrow. Once I charge everything up, I will be back. Ending on a high note. Well, what is up, everybody? You know where I am. I'm back on the same spot where I found that gigantic coin spill just yesterday. And I could barely sleep last night. I was so excited about coming back here. But today it is cold. Yesterday we got a little snow and it was like high 20s, low 30s. Today, not touching the 30s. In fact, with wind chill, I think that we're like closer to the teens. So my face isn't working exactly right, but we're gonna do everything we can today. I've got extra phone chargers, like a battery pack for my phone. I've got extra batteries for the pinpointer. I've got water. I got everything I need today because this cold just like kills batteries so fast. My phone, my detector, everything. So we're gonna do whatever we can today, and we got a lot of land left to search. All up here, this is what I've done so far. Everything to the left of the path, and just to the right is the foundation, so I hit that. But everything from that far stone wall back down through here to the end of that, that's all been gridded out now, and everything's been taken out of there. That's where that 1 real, aside from the spill, was found yesterday. And today I think I got my first desirable right here, somewhere. There we go. And I'm betting it's a little button. There certainly is. Not a bad way to start the day. I've only got 3 or so hours here today because of the light and obligations and such, but I am hoping to make the most out of that. So here we go, starting off with a button, hopefully moving towards some really nice stuff. We'll see. Well, I have moved along the stone wall just a little bit. Got a pretty nice target. Be a nice change from all the shotgun shells and iron that I've been digging. Let's try it out. Kind of screwed up that pinpoint just now because I had my shovel there, but it did sound small. Could be kind of copper sized, I'm hoping. Oh, it's so cold out. It's so cold out. Where'd it go? Here's the thing. I'm betting another button. Sure is. Man, these buttons are ringing up really high. Like, it was hitting 18 sometimes, but then other sides it was like a full 25. And they're pretty caked up too. And I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning because I only got so much battery life in the cold. So we'll just say that's a nice old flat button. Check on that back mark later. Well, still in the land of the buttons, but I did just see something pop out of here that was hitting a nice 1920. That looks different to me. That looks like a ring. I don't know if you can see it from up there. Yeah, looks like a nice fat ring rim, copper, but probably an old wedding band or something. That's pretty cool. Wonder if it's good enough to get a little inscription off of. We'll have to see. I'm trying to move fast through all this stuff because I only got so much time here today. But that's a nice sign. A little bit of jewelry. Oh, it's out. Is it? Where'd it go? There you are. What is it? Ooh. What is it? What are you telling me here? What's the idea? What's the plan? What are you saying? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I think it's a button. Now, why did that sound like 30s on one side? Yeah, just an old convex button. It was like 18 on one side and then 30s. Definitely a nice old flat button though. Alright, so far today, button, button, button. Not complaining. Not complaining. And that will be button number 6 for the day. Boop. This one was hitting like 33, and then all the way down to iron. So like iron on one side, which usually means nail, and then kind of good on the other. So maybe there is still a nail down there, but I just saw this pop up. I'm kind of thinking it might be a cut copper. It's definitely thick enough for it. Some light on her. Oh yeah, there's the Britannia shield right there. This might be the date side then. There should be a date right down there. Yep, it looks like a 74 maybe. 1770 something. My second cut copper ever, I believe. Yeah, still just 1770 something to me. But that's pretty cool. It's got a wicked bend to it too. It's like it bent while they were trying to cut it. You can imagine the guy, you know, he just needed a half a penny. He's like, you know, over there just, I'm just trying to make change with the saw. And then bend. Here you go. Here's your half penny. Give me a beer. Very nice. First half coin of the day. I'll take it. Number 7. Ooh, that wind is picking up. I have been all over this place. All the way from the front of that wall, all the way across. Foundation's right here. Brought it all the way to that wall over there. And now I'm just kind of moving back through the property. And a nice little piece of stuff right here. Old, not shoe buckle, but some kind of clothing buckle. That's definitely beautiful late 1700s stuff right there. Gotta take good care of that. There we go. I'm assuming another button, 16 to 18, but it's really regular, no iron in there. Those could be half real numbers too. I've dug half reals like that. I've also dug like trimes in that range. It's also Indian head pennies, but I wouldn't think that at this location. Whatever it is. Betting button. And I'm right. Yep. A lot of these tiny little buttons here. I think that's like 8 for the day. Button. Why am I acting disappointed? Buttons are great finds. That's a nice one. Nice little back mark too. Well, this sure is a ridiculous amount of buttons, but I gotta say, everything that I pull out of here is a desirable, you know? I'm not getting a lot of old bullet shells or beer cans or anything like that. So, 10. A little bit higher this time. I'll try to make this quick. Nope. Roots. Oh, Roots. My old friend. What do we got? Okay. A little off to the side. Out. There it is. Button or coin? Feels a little thin and weird to be a coin. Probably an old dandy. I don't really see a shank mark either. Could be an old copper. I'm gonna clean it off a little bit, come back. Well, there's absolutely no sign of a shank whatsoever. So I'm going to conclude that this is an old plow-whacked copper. Washed out, plow-whacked. Maybe I'll get a little something off of it at home. But yeah, I think that's an old coin. Nice. Wow. I am really glad that I dug this target. it just sounded like perfect coin on one side and then total iron on the other side, which usually I would just be like, nah, it's probably just gigantic deep nail. But I'm really glad that I dug this one. Look how far this was down. That's over a foot. And I was just taking handfuls of sand out of here, and then boom, that pops out. Oh my God, it's beautiful too. The sand preserves things so nicely. Wow. Just a little bit of silver plating left on there. Oh man, that's such a beauty. It's just perfect. All the design work on there. Wow, that's like, it's perfect. That almost looks like fabric. I'm gonna have to clean that up later, but that looks like cloth. That's strange, because usually this is where that pin would have gone that held all the guts in there. Look at the design work on that thing. Man, that is a top pocket find. That's probably the best find of the day. Definitely the best find of the day. Very nice. All right, one more look at this thing now that I cleaned it up a little bit. It's just flawless. It's in perfect condition. All the design work is so clear and clean, and I was right. There's like little bits of cloth coming through there, as if somebody used this as some sort of like a clothing adornment or repurposed it for something. That's interesting. Wow. Oh yeah, that's going to be hard to top. And we are reaching the end of the day. See if we can get anything else before we go. Well, it turns out this place has a lot more to it. This is a whole nother foundation. I think that's the chimney pile right there. That lump, all the rocks sticking out of it. You can see this nice cut piece of stone here. Look at all this brick. It's all over the place. And that shoe buckle was right over there as the brick flies. And that is not from me. So somebody has detected here before, but man, did they miss a lot. Makes me feel pretty good. Yeah, so first foundation right there. Second one is right here. And this one seems bigger. Maybe this was the main house. Or maybe, nah, they wouldn't have had a brick barn. So I think this was the house. And I don't know what that was. Maybe just a smaller house. But all within this one little confined area. And I got a lot more to search. Oh, this is a hard spot to leave. But I think this is going to be the last target of the day. It might be button number 12, 11? I don't even know now. No, doesn't look like a button. Maybe. Huh, it's a sombrero. Guys, I just found my first tiny 18th century sombrero. I couldn't be happier. Please clean that up, see what I can find out. Probably a button. Oh, at least this is a interesting button to end the day on. Different than any button I've seen. Highly fancy. And so I can get it just right. Yeah, you can see the shank in the middle there. So maybe some sort of like woman's coat button or something like that. Has the look to it. Cool. Oh, time to put my fingers back in my gloves. Head out of here before I get frostbite. Okay, for real, last one. Thimble. Hitting 14, 15 on the way out. Nice. First one of those here. Well, here we are at the end of yet another really awesome hunt. A frigid, cold, windy, but really productive hunt. I think I got on 11 buttons today. Just cleaning up this foundation and the second foundation that I found there. And with these buttons, actually, I've found recently that I've got this nice fine wire wheel for my Dremel. And I tried it on a few less desirable buttons, and it didn't ruin the patina, and it just gives me a really nice kind of finish on here. You can see this one I actually only did it to half of this, just to show you what it turns out like. You can see this half is all dulled, gross looking, and this half is nice and shiny, and it didn't ruin any of the patina. So gives you all that definition back. For stuff like this, it's just for display purposes. Why not? You know, I wouldn't do it to a coin, but you know. So buttons. So many different types of buttons. Really nice little ones. Silver soldered, some of them. Here's my kind of plow whacked, confusing copper thing. Definitely no sign of a shank, and really thin. So it's either a button blank, maybe, or a really, really old rubbed out copper that somebody just tossed aside eventually. That one threw me for a loop though. And moving on through the buttons, just kind of more of the same out and back here. Nothing too special about them. This one's kind of interesting because it's like flat on the face, yet convex on the back, not tomback or anything. Another kind of one of those variety. And definitely was like in contact with some iron in the hole, because even the Dremel wouldn't take that iron off of there. Nice little convex one. And on the board here, the coaster anyway, I've got some nice back marks on some of these. I think that says best gilt, possibly. Little wreath design, something like that. And this one says double gilt. And that is a nice back mark on there. We've got a little eagle going on top. I believe that might be a Connecticut company that used to make those. But I would say that this all definitely falls in line with late 1700s, maybe early 18s. You still see some gilting on there. And this little hat button here, a little sombrero button. Bueno. Definitely the only one of these I've ever found, so that's pretty unique for me. Moving on, we've got our little tomback ball button. Again, another one that I hit on the Dremel. You can actually just see through there. You can see what's actually connecting it. And I hit it up on the Dremel. I thought that it was, you know, gilt or silver plated, but nope, this is all the way through. So this is tomback material. And if you look close, you can see those little lathe marks. If it can focus. You might be able to see it. Little lathe marks from when those were turned. I believe that's the same way that they would have made, you know, crotal bells, things like that. It's a pretty interesting little piece, really unique. Dainty. Moving on through the back, we've got this nice thimble here, and this actually, it's got a lot of cool pattern work on it. Just brass, but probably the nicest and one of the oldest thimbles I've seen. Terrible focus problems here. All that nice pattern work around there. And a little, probably wedding band. That's right, they used to make them out of copper if you didn't have money for a precious metal one. Pretty big too. Pretty much fits me exactly. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm ever going to wear that, but there you go. Again, I'm sorry for the focus problems. I don't know what's going on with my phone right now. And we've got this really, really nice late 17s dandy style button. Very ornate. You can see that edge pattern there all the way around with that kind of nice sort of circle pattern going on, and then probably like a snowflake or maybe like a little floral pattern in the middle with this kind of zigzaggy circle too. This would have been a really beautiful piece back in the day, and still is. Another one that, believe it or not, I hit this up on the Dremel and I didn't know that any of this was here. But with the really fine wire wheel on the Dremel, I was able to reveal all this, and it would have just, you know, looked like a regular flat button if I hadn't done it. So I'm really happy that I actually discovered that little trick. Because most of the time you don't want to, like, you know, destroy your relics with any kind of machine, really, you know. Hit it up with a grinder or a belt sander and you'll completely destroy it. But if you find just the right bit for something like a Dremel, then you can turn a crusty old button into something like this. Moving on through the flats, the dandies and all that, here's my other super fancy dandy. Just missing a shank, but really, really nice otherwise. Very cool pattern work, and of course back in that day all of this would have been hand done, so the painstaking hours that would have gone into making this one button, pretty amazing. An incredible relic. Nice little 1700s strap buckle. Nothing much to say about that, but that is a beautiful piece of 1700s history. Nice to find something in such good condition because of the sandy soil especially. And then way up in the front, 1770 cut KG3 halfpenny. Was still in pretty darn good condition, aside from the cut. I'm not sure what they would have cut that with, you know. I'd imagine back in that day maybe some sort of a chisel or something, but it's a really clean cut. You can tell it was pretty intentional. You can still see Britannia's shield right there, and the date down bottom, 17/7, that is a 0. And then, actually this side is really nice. The top, the last part of Georgievus. And you can see his little olive branch in his hair there. And 1, 2, 3, and most of Rex. Georgievus 3 Rex, King George III. Pretty cool, my second ever cut copper, and in legible condition. Definitely displayable. And way up at the front, not totally up at the front, but real close, is my 1760 1 real. Definitely really, really washed out. I don't really know how to bring this back any further, so for right now I'm just kind of leaving it as it is, but you can still see quite a bit of detail on there. Pretty identifiable. Really, really happy that that wasn't the last of the silver on that property in that coin spill. There was this one last one hiding like 14 inches down, just waiting for me. And who knows, maybe there's still more. Gotta wait for next week. And then way up in the front, my favorite find really of the day, even more than a real, believe it or not. It's just in such fine condition. This is a mid to late 1700s shoe buckle frame, probably a man's because of the size. And you can see that there is still fabric sticking out of there where the brass pin would have gone that held all the guts in there. So what I'm thinking, the reason that this might be in such good condition, just despite the sand and all the stuff in the ground that was preserving it, is that maybe after it fell out of use, they strung it up as some sort of a aesthetic decoration of some sort, you know, or kept using it, you know. I don't know what they would have strung through that with cloth or, you know, but maybe it was some sort of a, you know, a decoration, or maybe a toy, like a kid's toy, you know. Somebody used grandma's old shoe buckle frame or grandpa's old shoe buckle frame to make some sort of a toy. I have no idea, but it's fun to speculate. And it's amazing to find such a personal and such an important relic, you know, in such good condition. It's just amazing. Yeah, I'm still blown away by that one. Well, thank you guys once again for joining me on another awesome hunt. We've got another one coming next week, so stay tuned for that. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Get out there and dig cool stuff up.